Moadim L'Simcha, holidays for joy. One of the traditional greetings offered during this Passover season we're enjoying. This Thursday night, continuing until Saturday evening, we will conclude the holiday of Pesach. On Friday morning service, we'll be reading the culmination of the Passover story with Exodus chapters 13 and 14, the crossing of the Red Sea, more accurately, the Sea of Reeds. The reading offers perhaps the perfect ending for the last days of this holiday. The Israelites have just left Egypt. They're encamped by the sea. A few days later, Pharaoh hears that the Israelites appear to be lost, stuck by the sea. He changes his mind about freeing them. He pursues them with 600 chariots. The Israelites are trapped. The army of Pharaoh on one side, the sea on the other. They cry out to Moses, who prays to God. And God says, "Why do you cry out to me? Speak to the people of Israel that they go forward." Moses holds his hands over the sea, and the sea splits. Moses and the Israelites cross. And after the final person makes it to safety, the sea collapses on the pursuing Egyptian soldiers and drowning them. The Israelites sing the Shira, the song by the sea, joyously describing in magnificent poetry, not just the crossing of the sea, but the awesome power of God. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, who is like you, O Lord, among the gods. Mi chamocha neder b'kodesh, norati lo tosefele, who is like you, glorious in holiness, revered in praises, doing wonders. That's great. But you know the line that inspired me from this reading? As the people left Egypt, it says in chapter 13, verse 9, Vaikach Moshe et atzmot Yosef imo. And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him. While everyone else was busy joyously and feverishly getting ready for the journey, Moses was keeping a promise found in the book of Genesis, where Joseph on his deathbed said to those gathered, "When you leave Egypt, carry my bones from here." Some look at what Moses did as simple professional courtesy, one Jewish leader to another. I mean, Moses stood on the shoulders of those before him, and as a good leader recognized that his leadership is a direct line from the great ones of the past. He was walking in the footsteps of the great Joseph, and it was only right to be there for Joseph, one leader to another. Me, I see it as a lesson for all of us, an important one. Here was Moses on the busiest day of his life. I mean, think of all he had to do, all he had in his mind to ensure the people's safety. Imagine what was on his plate, because the challenges of leading this people was going to be a nightmare. I mean, we know, and I bet Moses already knew that as well. And yet, what is he doing? Moses was gathering the bones of Joseph. I mean, let somebody else do that. He had enough to do. But Moses extends kindness for a person who needed him, who couldn't even repay him. I mean, no one else remembered and ran to get the bones of Joseph. Moses, however, as busy as he was, knew where he was needed and knew who needed him the most. My friends, I thought of that because there are days, and I'm sure you have them, when I have so much to do, so much I've got to get done, and then someone comes in with tears in their eyes, hurting, and they need someone to talk to, someone to unburden themselves. And if you're like me, you're human, and you think, why today? I really don't have time. But hopefully you stop and realize, yes, you do. Yes, you do. That moment is why you're on earth, to help another human being. There's no one else to do it that can do it. This was Moses' moment No one faced a greater human migration challenge than Moses. No one in the Bible had the weight of an entire nation looking for what to do next than Moses at this juncture. And yet, he dropped everything to get the bones of Joseph. My friends, that's not professional courtesy. That's human kindness. That is goodness. That is decency. Love for another human being. I want to be like Moses. I'm not quite there yet, but I know I want to strive to be like that. I see so many who, when someone needs them, they don't look at the clock. They don't look at their schedule. They don't cry about the unfairness of not being able to get a break. They don't say, woe is me. But they see another person in need, and they realize there is nothing more important than the needs of that person. Moses, at this moment, this most challenging moment for him, said, my place is with Joseph, saving his bones to take to the promised land. Joseph needs me, and I'll be there for him. My friends, when we learn to be like that, to be there for others no matter what we are going through, we will find true greatness. And when a community can create such unselfishness, our society, our entire society, will find her glory. Moadim l'simcha and Chag Sameach.